Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to the GW Promotional Audio Experience. It's been a little while since we got in the booth again, but it is the new year. It is 2022. Today's February, what is it, the 28th?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
March 1st tomorrow.
March 1st tomorrow, and so we're with
2 months.
2 months into the year. Yep, we got Greg and we got Jess with us today, and we're going to be talking about a lot of great things, but just want to recap everything kind of we did last year, some very exciting things, and for me as someone new who's in racing, it was a tremendous experience, and it was really cool to be at the races and see all the exciting action behind the scenes and with everyone who was involved. So I think you guys did a wonderful job, and it was exciting, and I think I'm overall excited for where it's going to go for this year. And I know we have plenty to uncover, and I think you have plenty that you want to kind of get into because it's exciting.
Yeah, and to recap from 2021, that was, like I said, that was a very successful test program. It went better than the first one that we did back in June. We learned a lot of things, and of course, going into this year, there's a lot of things that we've done different and added a lot of things. And we're going to introduce the Whitcomb 5. We'll get to that. And then, of course, we're going to introduce a lot of stuff that Jessica's been working on. And she's been working hours upon hours on the apparel, everything that she's going to bring up today.
Yeah, and that's no easy task with everything, No.
So it is not.
And do you want to go over the upcoming races here that we're looking forward to for 2022?
Yeah, I mean the first event, May 1st, like I said, 2 months from tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's coming fast. Like we were just talking about, Kate. September we were there. 22's coming, and here we are 2 months.
You kept saying it. I was like, oh, it'll be some time. I'm not going to worry about it. And I was like, shoot, Greg was right.
It's coming. It's coming fast. So, So the first event, the Whitcomb Classic, the first race of the Whitcomb 5, and this race is going to be introduced as the actual event that is about to honor my father, Bob Whitcomb. And then going from there, the rest of the Whitcomb 5 is pretty much, the reason why we named the Whitcomb Classic as the Classic is because of that's the past. Okay. And then the rest of the Whitcomb 5 is being more represented as the present into the future. And the future is bringing in the new fan, which my partner in life is the new fan. And she's done such a wonderful job with this. And she's going to bring in, I believe, all sorts of new fans, which we all know NASCAR has kind of missed maybe the last 2 generations of fans. And they're working hard at doing what they need to do at their levels, and we're going to do what we need to do with the short tracks and the grassroots at our levels and bring in a lot of new ideas and programs and stuff. And Jess has brought a lot of that to fruition because of the new fan, her looking at it from, my mind is, I've been in it at some level for so long. She's brought in so many new ideas that she knows if you want people to get involved, let's do it this way. And so I'm excited to hear what she has to say today about that.
And is there going to be anything new with this Whitcomb Classic race compared to the other ones in terms of racers?
Well, there is. It's the same. It's the same guys that ran the series, the NH STRA series that runs at Monadnock, Claremont, Hudson, and Lee. And then we go to Monadnock twice. So we'll go to Monadnock, the Whitcomb Classic, May 1st. And then we go to Claremont, June 17th. July 15th is Lee. Hudson is August 14th, and then back to Monadnock. But with the Whitcomb Classic, what we've added, besides the Whitcomb 5 inside of it as a bonus program, is we've done it in 2 segments. There'll be a 75-lap part, and then there'll be a 5-minute break. And then there'll be the final 50 laps, and then qualifying and everything. And then we've got the fastest lap award that we're having this year, and a lot of different things. And then something that we didn't do last year, we did an early podcast on site, but we are going to do an 11 o'clock podcast in the pit area before anything even starts. So we'll have a couple of drivers on for that. We'll have Jack Arute will be on. And some other guests and everything who Jack Arute has come on as not only a consultant, but he's going to be in the broadcast booth with Dave Sutherland, who also signed on with us, who has been at Monadnock Speedway announcing for close to 40 years. I think it's been 38 or 39 years.
Wow.
And he's come on to do the Whitcomb 5 with us with Jack Arute. And then the third guy that's going to be in there is going to be, each track has their announcers. And what we're looking at is that person will be the third guy in the booth with Dave and Jackie. So it'll be a 3-man team at each event. So that's stuff we did different. And then the podcast, like I said, we're going to have the 11 o'clock one. We'll have one that's going to be close to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the pole winner, the guy that runs the fastest lap, will be a guest on there with us. And then, of course, we'll close out after the modified race, after the Whitcomb Classic is over. And we'll have the winner of the event. And he also will be talking about how he feels about being the first guy to advance to the Final Four at championship weekend in September. So.
And will the younger gentleman be racing as well? I think it was like 18, the one that had won at the last race that I was at. Do you remember him?
Yeah, no, I don't know if Jacob. That was Jacob Perry who won the first one. Yeah, he's 19 years old. 19. Yeah. That was from the other series, and I don't know if he's going to be in this or not. I know there's a lot of people. I got the Jeff Zeidema from Monadnock Speedway emailed me over the drivers that are registered for the series. Not the Whitcomb 5 series yet. Those guys are registering too through Jess. But he's got a list of people, and I noticed there's probably 8 or 10 guys on there new that weren't on the list from 21. But so he could be, which would be pretty neat. But I know the 2 guys that won the 2 50-lap twin races that we did in September for the test program. Brian Roby and Todd Patnode, both of them are already registered, and both of them have registered for the Whitcomb 5 too. So it's getting exciting. A lot of things are happening. And
a lot of things are happening, especially the new apparel here. I see that you're wearing.
Yeah, we got the new Whitcomb 5 shirts out and everything. These are ones that Jess and I will wear for the podcast and stuff like that.
Which I like. I still have my Whitcomb 100 hat that I still wear. Around everywhere, and people do ask about it, but I can see there's a lot coming out of it, and you know, curious to know from Jess's point of view is there new apparel coming out? Is apparel? Can people expect anything new that is kind of coming out?
Yeah, we I went pretty big for the Whitcomb 5 series.
Nice.
I did we have the standard shirts, the hats, but this year I have some tank tops for women.
There we go.
Yeah, I had a couple people ask me about those last year, so I figured, what the hey? Sweatpants with some Whitcomb series down the leg.
I would be the first to buy that. I'm in sweatpants all the time.
I'm super excited, but what I'm doing this year is I'm going to let people tell me, what do you want to see? And then I'm going to see if I can fit that in somewhere, because really it's about the fans and what they want, and I don't want to sell something that nobody wants to buy. If people ask, I'm gonna try to do it. So it's it's not even just the apparel now we have merchandise. We have little shot glasses with the Whitcomb 5 series, for the little alcoholic in all of us. And we've got the
little
lanyards.
collectible.
I have stuff for the kids. I have a couple people I have reached out to who are gonna do some little kid wooden puzzles. My sister owns a company called Wild Eye Creations, and she's one of the people I'm talking to about doing that. And then I know a few other people who do woodworking things, and I'm trying to incorporate everything locally. What can I do? Okay, so my sister's business is not local, but it's my sister.
Yeah,
so.
right.
But everything else is local.
It's local in heart. In the heart,
yes, right? There you go. I want to really focus on keeping our stuff local, keeping it sourced from around us. One of the people I'm speaking to, actually, the lumber he's using comes from right around our house.
Yes,
exactly. So you can't get much more local to us than that. Wow. So yeah, it's really cool. And then I have some of the Whitcomb 5, not 5, classic apparel, but I've really dialed that line back. All the series events, they're gonna have a much more limited run. I'm only doing hats and shirts, and it's a limited amount. When it's out, it's out. I want it to be collectible. I want it to be something that isn't just going to sit there. I want people to want to buy it because they don't know how long it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So like what I have for each event is what I have. When it's gone, and there will be no reruns.
I think the tank tops are gonna be great, especially because it's summer.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
spring, summer.
Yep. So I mean, it's
comfy.
yeah, it's
you can
cool.
wear the sweatpants and the tank top together.
Cover it with a sweatshirt.
Right.
You totally covered. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we've got it. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. I'm really excited. Like the tent's bigger this year, so we'll have much more room, and like I have new ways to display things, so it's not just all heaped on a table. So yeah, that's coming together quite nice.
And is your dad doing autographs this year?
What we've done with that, and again, that's something that Jess came up with, and I'll let her bring up more of that. But with him doing the autographs, he's going to do the autographs at the Whitcomb Classic with the drivers.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do an autograph session after qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be set up. There'll be their own tent and everything, with tables set up, and they'll be sitting there, and then the kids can come through, and then we'll lead right into that with Jess. You can bring up what we're doing with the drivers for that.
Yeah, so we are trying to do things a little differently than just registering for a series. You run the race, you win the money, you don't win the money, you go home.
Yeah.
So now I kind of want to make it like our race family where everybody gets together and it's just this big thing. So after qualifying, I think is when we have it set to do it, we're going to have an autograph session for like half of the drivers. Like the first time, and then they'll leave, and then we'll have the other half, because if we've got 24 drivers or 30 drivers, it's going to be really tight there.
Mm-hmm.
But we have an autograph book. So there will be an autograph book with all the registered drivers that are in it that the fans can buy, and then they can come and have their favorite driver sign it. There's going to be a contest running from the first race, and then it will end at the last race. We'll like pick the winner. But whoever has the most signatures will win $100 like gift certificate or whatever to our merchandise tent, where they can pick whatever they want from the tent, up to $100.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the case that there is like a tie, their names will go into a thing, and then they'll obviously draw it. But yeah, so I mean,
Gets everyone involved. All the
Yes.
racers feel included.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's really what I want. Like, I want the drivers to feel special. I want the drivers to feel that it's about them too. You know? So yeah, something new that wasn't done before that we're gonna.
And you
try
can meet
this year.
someone a year before they
Yeah.
go on and win, or something happens, or
Yeah.
you say just like that 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, right? Is
Yeah.
you never know
And
who,
you see it.
who you
Well,
could.
you're seeing it already this year, even in big NASCAR. I mean, they got a rookie that wins the Daytona 500.
Mhm.
That doesn't happen. That stuff
Mhm.
doesn't happen.
Mhm.
And we're gonna create some stuff at the grassroots, and that's what Jess is doing. With she goes, her big thing, and I'm the new fan. I'm gonna help bring in the new fan.
I
I'm
like
gonna bring
that.
in the fresh ideas.
Yeah. That's what's
you
needed.
guys
Yeah.
that have been in it for years, you got all good ideas. Now we're gonna bring in some fresh ones and kind of mingle them all together.
Well, it's not even that they're fresh. I'm just respinning your ideas.
Well.
Something.
Better.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I did.
Say it.
He said it.
I said
And so, is this going to be something that people can get at the tent? The booklet?
We will have a check-in table for people who are sponsors for our series, or guests of ours or guests of theirs. There will be a table up front where they can buy the programs. It'll be like $2.
Mhm.
There will also be some at our table. What's really cool about it is we've reached out to some of the local businesses. We do have some businesses from Massachusetts, and there will be some from New Hampshire in the surrounding areas of each track. And some of them could be offering coupons, or maybe it's just like an advertisement in it. But it's another way I'm hoping to get people engaged too. Like, they want to buy the program ad because maybe there's a good coupon in there for this place that
I was just going to ask if there was something else in there too, like that.
Yes, there's actually a lot. Well, that's in the. I kind of skipped because that's not the autograph book. The autograph book will be at the GW tent. I'm talking about the programs. Like, we're doing programs too. So there's like two different things we're doing. The programs it's going to be like broken down, and it's going to have a lot of information in it, like who Greg and I are, how we came up with this idea, and then like who is Bob Whitcomb, because like the classic is about Bob. So who is Bob and what did he do? And there's some pictures in it. Then there's the format. the drivers, the lap
Dave and
sponsors, and what the laps mean.
What the significance for the laps that mean to my mother and father and stuff like that. And we're only doing the lap sponsor stuff at the 2 Monadnock events.
Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of information in this book. It'll have
and then you wanted to talk with like Kate and Dee and all them to
I've already talked
get
to
some
Dee.
stuff.
About
putting a thing in there in the program about you, and then one about Dee, and then it'll be in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's everybody involved. We're going to make it a big family. We're going to have a page in there with all the employees and the helpers for us. Yeah.
You're going to have coupons as well?
Yeah. We're trying to. Yes. We've reached out to local businesses, and some of them may respond with a coupon. Some of them just may be an ad with some information you didn't know about them.
So, like, you put something in there and everything, whatever it is with you and stuff, and whatever it is with Dee and Trent, put whatever in there and, make it all so we're all promoting each other. Again, it goes back to business to business.
Exactly.
So it's and that's what some of these other people. I was talking to a company today, and they're talking about doing something, getting involved. I wish I could say who it is, but I can't. Their big thing. They're looking to advertise, but they're looking to do it more as for their employees, and then also employees they want to bring in to work for them. So it's more like an intercompany type of program.
Mm-hmm.
But they were talking today. We were talking mostly program stuff at first, and now it's maybe bigger and better. So don't know. And then also today, we were hoping that we were going to be able to say some stuff about our caterers and stuff. But I will say, Tempestas is going to be involved with us in 2022, like they were in 21 doing our catering.
Mm-hmm.
So
they were good.
Shout out to them, And Jess and I sit down with Jimmy Tempesta and Tracy Tempesta that owns it last Sunday, and came up with a menu that we want to do, and it's getting exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they are, even though they're in Keene, New Hampshire, they are going to be able to. We figured out a way to do it to where they can cater all 5 events.
Oh, nice.
So
and I'm sure that they're going to be stoked about that too.
Yeah. Well, there's some other things that we were hoping. That's why I keep looking at my phone to see if they've called me yet and everything. But
maybe they'll call you on this podcast.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You're on live.
Exactly. I was just telling Jimmy you're on live, so say what you need to say.
Yeah, exactly. And with everything that you guys are doing and the success and the awareness, you guys are using social media now more to put that awareness out there and connect with more people.
Yeah. It's trial and error with me.
Yeah, with all of us, trust me.
Some of them just don't work out. Other ones...
Some are just spam, right? They'll just... I don't know if you've gotten those people. They're just like spam. They're just...
Yeah,
I don't know if they're from another country or they're people who are just a fake account. I'll put it that way, you know?
I have been a lot on Facebook. I am so crazy busy with setting up just the forms for everything we're doing online with the various forms that the drivers have to fill out, and the autograph book, and the program ads and the merchandise, and working a full-time job on top of doing all this. So the only one I'm messing with right now is Facebook. We do have an Instagram. I haven't really done much, I don't think, since Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Facebook is usually the hub anyway.
Yeah. We've gotten some really good attention.
She's gonna roll Instagram in slowly as we get going, but like you said, she's focusing with that, the website, and the Facebook page and all that. So it's right now it's not with everything else we're creating, and she's been creating. I mean, like Saturday, she spent 13 straight hours just working on the programs and posting things on Facebook and getting things lined up with the driver registrations and different things. And then I go upstairs in my office and I'm working, trying to get things done for sponsorships and everything, because the more things she's creating, the more ideas we go, and I'm like, oh, we could get a sponsor for that. Oh, we could get a sponsor for that. So it's...
Yeah, and I don't know if you've dove into the rabbit hole of groups on Facebook. You can do New Hampshire, racing groups, New Hampshire, whatever. You can get into a lot.
Not right now. I'm kind of a database nerd, and everything I'm doing goes into databases, and I'll know how much potential profit every single thing we're making is. And Yeah, I've been databasing.
Which is good.
It's not so much like Facebooking, but
Yeah.
like really getting to the bones. It's funny, like my poor little 10-year-old daughter is the run between, because Greg is on the second floor and I am on the first floor, and it's, can you go tell Greg this, or can you go tell Mom that? And
Sure, you guys just have walkie-talkies.
oh, we should.
They're coming.
Beep beep.
I
We're
did
We're
one
going to
of
have
them.
walkie-talkies this
Roger.
year. We are going to
Over.
have walkie-talkies
Yeah.
with earpieces so that all of us...
Well, the earpieces might look like we're
communicate.
Secret Service.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You feel really important
You know?
this year, see?
I'll wear out my dark sunglasses, and then, we'll all hold our hands like this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, another thing Jess and I did was this year, everybody will see different, is everybody will have a staff shirt.
Mm.
All the workers that are like working the tents and runners, and the
Catering staff.
Taylor Armstrong is going to be our photographer again. She's all signed up for the 5 events that did the photography last year. And then, of course, Dee and Trench doing the podcast, and then our people out front signing people in, and then Jess's son Quentin, who's going to be doing he does a lot of the setup stuff. He does
setup and
whatever we need. He'll run.
Was he
and
the
do
one
it.
who did the podcast with us?
No, that was my nephew Willie.
Okay.
But they're all going to have staff T-shirts, and
Nice.
they're going to say staff right on them. And then, of course, you and myself and Jack and Dave will have polos, and Jess will have polos that have the Whitcomb and Whitcomb 5 on them and stuff. So it's we're doing it. We're trying to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're learning more things as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're adding things, and every time we do something, we're like, okay, if we do this, well, maybe we can do this too.
Yeah.
But we don't want to bring in, we've got a lot of ideas, and I'm like, we need to save stuff for next year.
Yeah.
Bring out something new every year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, and Jess has been, like I said, burning the midnight oil. And,
yeah, and I think in all of this stuff, if there hasn't been a plan in place yet of just somehow collecting who's coming to these events, who's interacting with you, of just email campaigns, or something, not even like sending out email campaigns, but, that might be something of interest at some point, just to get people to sign up for things, and then, just say, hey, why don't we keep over the next year? I mean, if you had everyone who interacted with you at your booth or your tent, or maybe 50% of them, you could just email them, hey, here's the next schedule, here's what's happening. Do you have a local business you want to, put, a little mailer in for the brochure, those kind of things. You could also do that, but I know it can be overwhelming. Facebook is overwhelming sometimes, and
well, we
you
can't
can
believe
utilize...
how many clicks and how many people are reaching out. I mean, she put out the autograph book on on Facebook. What was it, Saturday night at like 9:00? She put it up, and by I don't know, the next morning we had like 500, people reached within, and that was overnight, and it just keeps going up and stuff, and and I think people are seeing it. It's new at this level of, some of the things we're doing is level of racing, so it's exciting. And then there's some other things that I'm not really going to get into it too much, but some other stuff we were talking with Dee and Trench about Friday night that we got pretty excited about, what could be coming from other stuff that we're talking to the tracks about.
There's a lot of things that
there's
are
just
on the edge here,
There's a lot, I mean, but, we need to get this first podcast going. We're already March 1st tomorrow, like we said. But maybe by the end of March, we'll have the next podcast, we'll have more information. And Jess will have, every time somebody registers and stuff now, she's putting it up on Facebook and stuff. So,
are you guys still doing the Kids Zone this year?
Yes, we are. We're still going to have the coloring contest for the younger kids. There is the sandbox, which is still our Milton Cat sandbox. I think it will always be Milton Cat.
It's a good sandbox.
Yeah.
My dad did
I know.
awesome
Your dad did
at
amazing.
that. He's actually making cornhole boards this year for the older kids and for the champion, the winner, I guess.
The champion of the Whitcomb 5 series.
Yeah, they're going to get like handmade cornhole boards by my dad. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. I kind of like use my own kids as what would you like to see? And we went out and we got a lawn Jenga for the teenagers, and we have Yard Yahtzee. Say that 5 times fast.
Yard Yahtzee?
Yard
Yahtzee. Yeah, Yard
Yahtzee.
With a little bit of vodka.
Yeah.
And then what else we have like a ring thing, just something for the older kids to do. Because I realized last year it was really, I had stuff for the younger kids, but nothing for the older kids. So there's that.
Except just going to the food trucks.
That you can't do with the liabilities.
Yeah.
So there's other things we want to do, but we're like, yeah, we're not going to do that yet. We'll do. It's all going to be. I don't want to say trial and error, but we're going to bring in what we know we can do, and then we're going to have another idea that her sister and her came up with was we're going to have a suggestion box and just see what people give us ideas. Give us some ideas what you want to see, whether it's apparel, whether it's something in the kids zone, and that's something else that we're working on too. That I was hoping we could say something today about, but we've got a sponsor that we're working on for the kids zone too. That's going to be kind of exciting. So
I see.
Yes.
And do we know who's doing the national anthem this year?
Well, no. I don't want to hire some bands, some singer. What I really want to do is again go local, go grassroots, and I want to reach out to the local area and do you know somebody who can sing? Can little Tommy sing well? Well, we want little Tommy to come try to sing the national anthem. And I really want to reach out to the local community because there's a lot of good singers out there. I mean, even the karaoke people who could actually sing karaoke.
Right.
Those ones.
Right. It's not the people that get up and sing Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, not after they have a couple
10
drinks. Shots. Yeah, that would be me.
Right.
I would be that person. Right. I will not be singing the national anthem.
There goes
rest
Jess.
Assured.
Yeah.
No. But I really want to reach out to just your average Joe and give them the opportunity.
And then they'll probably share it online once they see that, hey, look, so-and-so, right, is my son or my daughter. Yep. They went on, did it, then they're sharing the content.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're also opening up the Grand Marshal. It won't be just for children anymore.
Okay.
My goal is, again, to reach out to the local areas for each track and, the Boy Scouts.
I was just, when you said that, I was about to say the Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts or, a Veterans Association, something,
Is there a Lions Club or anything?
I don't know. That is, I have reached out.
A Rotary Club or
Rotary clubs, yeah. I mean, all that.
I have reached out to the tracks.
A lot of them are business as well.
Right.
The Rotary.
Yeah.
I have reached out to the tracks. I do want to okay this. I don't want to just assume anything I say is golden. I don't want to be stepping on toes or creating ill feelings. So yeah, going forward, that's my goal though, that we will be having local talent, undiscovered. Undiscovered talent.
I like that.
We can say we heard it first.
Yes.
So anyone who's listening when this goes live,
yes,
exactly.
You guys can reach out.
Please, reach out to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, the other thing we're doing, with the waving of the green flag, we're going to do the same thing. We're not just going to have even the Whitcomb Classic. I mean, my father did it for the first one. Doesn't mean he's going to do it for even the Whitcomb Classic. And I'm not going to say who it's going to be, but we have a theme song for the modifieds when they come out on the track this year.
Oh,
goes a little bit stuff with the Feel the Thunder for the Whitcomb 5, so it's a little something exciting.
I feel like I know.
Yeah,
maybe I do
you
know.
Probably know. I think I might have told you.
No, I don't think you did. I'm just my mind's going to.
There's a band that has a little bit of thunder in it. So,
okay.
Yeah, little rock band.
And then, are you guys looking forward to anything in particular for this first or second year now going into it? Anything in particular? Looking forward to kind of seeing people again, seeing the families, seeing the reactions to the new items that you guys are bringing, or just having a fun year. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to other than nicer weather?
Nicer weather for sure, but I really want to
getting over this COVID.
I think we're a long way from that yet. Sorry, just do. I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer in the room. No, I'm really looking forward to interacting more with the drivers, getting to know them, getting to know their thoughts. I want to know what they want. What do you want in a series? What would you like to see happen? What would make you happy or, more excited?
Yeah, I know Jess has got another great idea that she wants to do with the drivers and stuff, and I'm not going to say it. She can say it if she wants, but it's something that we're definitely going to look at doing for 2023. That while this season's going on, she's going to touch base with the drivers and say, what do you think about this? And would you be interested in this? Something to give back to the driver. Bring the fans closer to their drivers. You know, I mean, that's what it's all about. And the more you can get the younger fans and any of the fans closer to the drivers and feel more personal with them, then they have a connection with them. They're not going to want to miss watching them race wherever they're racing.
Right.
You know, and that's what happens in all these series, going all the way up. You know, you watch a guy start at the bottom, and then he works his way up, and then that person that, hey, I saw him when he was here.
Right.
And you watch them go all the way up the series. You know, some of them do.
Yeah.
Some of them don't. Some just do it because they just love to do it, and that's where they're going to be. And they're like, okay, we made this level, and this is where I'm going to stay.
Right.
And, you know, there's a lot of them at the series that we're doing right now, and they're having fun with it.
Yeah.
They have their regular, real job, and they go out and race, and they're good at it, and they have fun. And we're trying to bring in a lot more fun to it. You know, that it's not just about the racing. And we talked about it last year. The downtime. What can we do to fill in that downtime? Or parents that bring the younger kids and they get a little bit bored, you know, after two. How long can you keep a kid's attention?
Right.
And that's what Jess comes up with these ideas, and you know, her and her sister and stuff. They're going to work that. We're even going to have Jess's younger daughter, who's 10, Fallon, work some of the kid stuff so that you have a kid working with the kids.
Yeah.
And it gives them something to do and lets the parents kind of do what they want to do.
And speaking of fun, are you guys still doing the pit tours?
We are going to figure something out with that. But we will.
I think the Boy Scouts would like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. You know,
I don't know what badge you'd get for that.
I don't know exactly. Maybe by March or the one we do before the first event. We've been doing so many other things. We're like, the pit tour is on our list of things.
It's on the radar.
Yeah, we don't know how we're going to do it this year. We are going to do it because it is important for the sponsors too. You know, so that they want to go down and see the cars up close and stuff like that.
Could any of the kids like eventually like do pictures like inside the cars? Like I remember, like my dad was in the Air Force, and you could go to the Air Force Day, and you could actually go in the, the planes and take photos, and
if the
kids, it's pretty cool.
The kids go down, and we get, however we get them down the pit. We have to watch out because they have to sign a waiver at a certain. Yeah. They all have to sign waivers, but there's an age limit to be in the pit.
Okay.
And that's all goes back to all the liabilities and all that, and you got to be careful with it. But
one lap with a racer, how cool would that be? You know?
Yeah, I mean,
well, there's not really a seat, right?
There may be a way to do something if we can have them down in the front. And the biggest thing that's going to happen is when we get to September and we do the trackside party. And then I'm hoping that we can have all the teams there the night before when we have the trackside party, because the event's the next day, and there's no other racing for that series going on that Friday night that we have the trackside party. So what I'm hoping is that we can have some of the cars out there. Maybe not all of them, but we pick the 4 that will definitely be out there are the 4 that are running for the championship.
Right.
So those 4 will be out there. And then that's when the kids can get their picture with the driver and the car and all that stuff. So, but we'll try to figure out some other things too.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
night's gonna be a blast. But I can't wait to get to the classic. Because it's people are going to see.
The countdown is on.
Yeah, people are going to see. It's going to be different. It's going to be a lot different than September. There's a lot more things that are going to go on.
So in between now and then, in between now and really the first race, what other things are we prioritizing, or are you prioritizing? Anything else between Facebook and apparel is already pretty much done, right, at this point?
Yeah, that stuff's getting done. I mean, we got the tents, like Jess said. We got instead of a 10x10, we got a 10x20 apparel tent this year.
Oh, nice!
So
and
we
I
got
get
that.
to fill it.
Yeah, and she gets to fill. And then what we did this year also is we got a backdrop. So the back of it, and then it's got the Whitcomb 5 logo on one side and the GW promotional logo on the other, which will be facing it. So that if we're doing events that isn't for racing, we'll have the GW.
There you go.
And then you flip it over, and it's got the. But it's that's something that Jess came up with that we did. But we're gonna have it on the 5x5 tent that'll be out front with the registration table. People, our fans and stuff come in. That'll have a backdrop, and then also the podcast tent will have a backdrop on it.
Do we have a bigger tent this year?
Well, we have a 10 by 10.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember that. There was
the 5
no
by
room.
5 that we used last year is going to be the tent that we use at the registration table.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Switching around.
Yeah, we made that bigger. So
Yeah.
like the size tent that we had for the apparel is what we'll have for the podcast.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that'll be set up right off the bat down in the pit.
So it can get hot when you're in the sun for a little
Well,
bit of
another
time,
thing
right?
that they're talking about on the track, and I don't know if it's something we'll talk with you and talk with Dee and Trench about. Jeff Zeideman told me at Monadnock, at least at Monadnock, they're going to have they're taking one of their rooms in their offices and making a podcast room. And the first thing he thought about was for our on-site ones
There we go.
after the race. So
We're making history.
Yeah. So they're going to have a big picture window in it. So while we're on it, people walking by can see it. They can stand there and watch it and whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
There
So
you go.
it was exciting. And then they also are redoing the suite
Yep.
at Monadnock.
The VIP
So,
suite.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. He told me the plan is that they're going to have a deck off of the suite over where the beer garden is.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have sliders so people can be inside or outside.
Nice.
So it's going to be a lot more room, and it's going to be, it's going to really look nice. So
When's that supposed to?
they're supposed to have that ready for this year.
Oh,
I mean, that was the
okay.
plan.
All right.
I mean, with everything that's been going on, everybody knows things could change, but that's the plan.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, it is. And then the whole midway, which is what we're calling it,
Yep.
is going to be where we are. And then, of course, every year that there's Monadnock, at the end of it is Kona Ice. So yeah, so it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. And then
Yeah.
so everyone can follow you guys on social media still on Facebook, gwpromotional.com.
Yep.
Just keep it through those channels, and then people can reach
Absolutely.
out with any questions, or if they
Yep.
want to start doing some promotional. But pretty much the countdown is on now, and
It
we're
is.
kind of kicking it off with this first
It
podcast
is.
of
I
the
mean,
year.
we got 61 days.
Yeah.
So,
Deadlines,
Yeah, and we're going to be setting up even the night before the classic for the tri-track race, the opener. We'll be set up at the thing with all the apparel and hit the whole opening weekend. So it's exciting. Yeah.
Anything else then to wrap us up?
No,
No,
not unless Jess has got anything.
Just if you're a driver and you register, get your pages to me early
Yep.
so I can get you in the autograph book. Otherwise, you might just have a standard
autograph
boring
card.
page. That is not cool.
We want you to be cool.
Right.
And there's still room in the programs for advertising for any businesses that are listening.
Awesome.
And
So,
then
yeah.
the other thing is the next one, what we'll do, I gave you a thing on the format and everything.
Mhm.
So next podcast, we'll kind of run down through the format when we get a little closer to the event so people understand. And it's going to be in the program too.
Mhm.
Jess has put it in the program so people understand how the point system's going to work, how the segment racing will work in it,
Mhm.
and also how the drivers get to the Final Four
Awesome.
at Monadnock. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And they're going to run either a Dayglow something on their car, so you'll know those 4 cars running for the championship that night,
Mhm.
championship weekend. They can't run a Dayglow, which is was my first choice, was run a Dayglow red, which looked like the old Purelator car when we ran Daytona. Sticks out. We're going to do it as with the spoiler on the car, but they run like a plexiglass so that they can see through to the next car because they run such a high spoiler now
Mhm.
that they wouldn't be able to see it. So we're talking about either putting some significant stripe on the car or running a Dayglow red number. The number would be a different color on the roof than everybody
Interesting.
else. So yeah, we're thinking of ideas on how we're going to do that, but we're going to do something just so that those 4 cars stick out and everybody knows where those cars are. Because whoever of those 4 finish first in that race,
Yep.
they don't have to win the race. They could finish 5th as long as they're the first ones of those 4.
Mm-hmm.
They'll win the championship and they'll win $10,000. So
10 grand.
yeah. Plus a jacket and plus the cornholes that her father's making.
Wow.
So yeah,
Very exciting.
It
I'm
is.
super happy that you were able to join us, Chess, on the podcast today. You did great. You did
Yeah.
great. Greg does great as always.
well, better since the first time.
Always a good time. So, gwpromotional.com, and then keeps following you guys on social media, and Instagram a little bit, and we'll continue on, and then we'll see hopefully everyone at the first race in May.
Correct. May 1st.
May 1st. And the time?
Right now, the racing starts at, they say 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And people can get their tickets?
Right at the track.
Right at the track.
They can go online at monadnockspeedway.com and get their tickets online or right there at the Speedway.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
All right.
And that's a wrap. Off to the new year. Off to the new year.